All right, what's going on, guys? It's Trev back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our spoiler review for my most anticipated movie of 2023. That is for The Flash, featuring the return of Michael Keaton as Batman. Alright, dudes, so definitely wanted to go ahead and give our thoughts on this one. Timing worked out just great in that Jess and I have had our baby boy now. Tristan is born. We got to bring him home today, so from the hospital and everything. So that's really great. Anyway, we'll go back to that. We'll come back to that later. But yeah, birth went well. Everything went well. Thanks for all the best wishes from everybody. And we'll show you guys some fun pictures and stuff of the baby and everything afterwards. He's doing great. So the Flash movie, we did get a chance to go ahead and go see it. Timing worked out just perfectly. Was really excited for this premiere this week. In that this is probably the comic book movie that I have been most excited to see for many years now. I want to say, like, I haven't been this excited to see a comic book movie for maybe like 4 or 5 years or something. It's really been a while since I've been this amped for any Spider-Man Homecoming, really great as well too. Was pretty excited for that. But this one, I love the 90s Spider-Man movies, but to get to see Michael Keaton return as Batman is something I really never thought we would ever see. When I heard they were doing it, I didn't believe it. I figured it was like, oh yeah, right, that's not going to happen. We're not going to see that. But we did get to see it, man, and this review will contain spoilers. So as far as the movie goes, I freaking loved it, dudes. I absolutely love the movie. I love Flashpoint, the DC comic book storyline that this movie is based upon. There's a really awesome DC animated movie you can watch as well for Flashpoint, which is really good. It's different from this one. You kind of have like Aquaman versus Wonder Woman in that one, and it's a big war type of scenario. In this, the Flash movie, they sort of take that Flashpoint storyline and they sort of change it. They use General Zod and kind of the events of Man of Steel, which I love that movie too. I think Man of Steel is awesome. I think General Zod is one of the best DC villains that we've seen in terms of, like, is he better than Steppenwolf? And I think he's great in terms of the movie version of Zod. Really, really awesome to see. And so let's get right down to brass tacks. As far as the movie goes, Michael Keaton's return as Batman. So the very first comic book movie I ever saw was 1989 Batman. I had the VHS tape for it here. I went to a yard sale when I was like 5 years old or 4 years old, and went ahead and bought, I think for a couple bucks, bought the VHS tape of '89 Batman, and that was my first experience getting to see Batman. My first experience getting to see a superhero movie. So that was it for me when I was a kid, man. Being born in '86, '89 Batman was the thing for me. So getting to see this happen is like a dream come true. It's really incredible to see Michael Keaton return as Batman. Now, I do want to say, from the trailers and stuff, this movie, at least for your Batman Michael Keaton fans, this one, if you saw the trailers online, unfortunately, and like I said, spoilers, they kind of show you most of the scenes in the trailers for him, really. Like there's, if you watch all the different trailers online, because there's a bunch of different ones, you basically get to see almost all of Michael Keaton's scenes in those trailers online. So when you actually go see the movie, it sort of kind of ruins it a little bit, because if you've seen all the trailers online, you sort of have seen most of Michael Keaton's parts. There's a few other ones, like when they're escaping in Russia and stuff like this, that there's a little bit more there, which is really awesome, that you maybe don't get to see in some of the trailers, different little parts in that, which is really cool. But the trailers kind of ruin it a little bit, because you get to see almost all of his parts in that for people who are excited to see him return. I really wish they would have done more with him in the movie. I sort of like, and I don't want to complain about this movie too much because I really did love it. There was a lot of cool Easter eggs. Christopher Reeve Superman, Nicolas Cage Superman, like freaking awesome. There's this joke that Kevin Smith does that's been popular online for a number of years now about this giant freaking spider. It's the Wild Wild West joke about the giant freaking spider and Nicolas Cage Superman fighting a giant spider. So they actually put it in this movie. Really hilarious in the multiverse kind of scenes for Flashpoint. I also like what they did with the Flash in this one with Ezra, and they kind of had him sort of become the Reverse Flash himself. So one of the best Flash villains is the Reverse Flash, and sort of in this movie they did a really good job, I think, of kind of having like the two different versions of Barry and kind of like creating, like having the standard one that you go with and then sort of having the other one kind of become almost like a villain in sort of a way, but with good intentions to, with his mom and everything to turn him into sort of like the Reverse Flash. So it was really well done as far as that goes. The cameos are lots. Like I said, spoilers. The George Clooney returning as Batman thing at the end was sort of like, it was funny. People in the theater laughed. I kind of laughed too, but then I was like, oh shit, because like, who wants to see him return as Batman in a sequel to this? Nobody. Like, if you want to replace Batfleck with Michael Keaton Batman and have him be in a Justice League movie, I'm down, dudes. Let's do it. That would be amazing to see. But, getting to see George Clooney return as Batman in a Justice League movie is like, I don't think anyone's interested in seeing that. Like nobody wants to see that. So it sort of screws it up for the possibility of a sequel, to me anyway. I don't know, maybe some people are excited to see George Clooney return as Batman. Maybe they can work out some bat nipples in the whole bat suit nipples in the whole deal. I just don't know. I don't know what they have in store in the future, if they want to do anything with this anymore, or if they're kind of done with it after this movie. That's the biggest thing. A little bit disappointment from me in that, I would have preferred maybe to see Michael Keaton return as Batman in the end scene. Despite the comedy for George Clooney or whatever, just have him return at the end anyway and have him be like a consistent Batman, and then they could use him again in other movies, and a lot of fans would love to see that. He sort of comes off in this movie as a little bit weak, and I kind of understand sort of why, in a way, right? Like the way that the movie kind of plays through, where you get the inevitable events that are taking place against Zod, where they sort of are not able to defeat Zod, so they kind of have to he has to realize that he has to undo what he did with his mom and everything in the can of tomato sauce, and so he does do that, and that's kind of the way it sort of goes. I would have maybe preferred to see this create like a new Justice League and have them sort of rise to the occasion and then defeat Zod. If you have to use a different version of Superman or something instead of Supergirl, then that's okay with me. But it's really fun though. Like if you look at everything the movie entails, it's funny. It's I think that the Flash himself is really good. I love the emotional dynamics with his mom and his dad and everything. I think that's really great. And Batfleck's not bad in it. The others, you get to see Wonder Woman at the beginning. It's it's good stuff. I would just say, like, I would have wished, like, maybe with the movie that maybe they could have used it to kind of better set up other maybe Justice League movies. Maybe with sort of switching up the cast a little bit, I would have put Michael Keaton Batman in there. I don't know if you could do a Christopher Reeve Superman, if that could work, I don't know if you could do CG for all those scenes and have it work. Some movies are able to do that. They can kind of like, take somebody and sort of CG in all their parts and have a full character. Maybe that would be too difficult to do. But, if he would have been able to somehow pluck certain characters from the multiverse to face Zod, for example, like maybe if he would have been able to, okay, you got your Michael Keaton Batman there, maybe he can grab, from the multiverse, maybe he can find a way to kind of pour it in and ask Christopher Reeve Superman for help, bringing him back with him, and then they could have risen to the occasion and then gone back at Zod, and you could have seen sort of like a dream team, not including Nicolas Cage Superman, though. Okay, I just had to say. But something like that would have been really cool, instead. Like, I understand the reason why they sort of went the way they did with it to kind of finish things off, but it just kind of fell a little flat for me, because I would like to have seen them rise to the occasion to defeat Zod. But I guess The way they sort of did it is it did make Zod look really powerful. It made him look like, no matter what they do, he can, Reverse Flash can go through the scenario a million times, and there's still really no way they're going to be able to defeat Zod with the group they have. So, I don't know. But that said, I do think it's a special movie. I think it's something that for the DC fans of the DC cinematic universe, you got to see it. You're going to love it if you're a fan of Batman Returns. To see Michael Keaton back again, maybe Batman and Robin, maybe. You got to see it. You got to check it out. It's really fun. It is a bit long. It's a bit lengthy, and like I said, it is a little bit, I think, of a letdown at the end, in that he just sort of undoes what he did in order to sort of set the events back, instead of seeing this. Like, I think it was a missed opportunity to not have him sort of create this new. Maybe he has this new Justice League come together with Michael Keaton Batman, maybe a Christopher Reeve Superman, or whatever maybe you can do some kind of version of Superman there, and kind of have them be able to band together and then figure out a scenario where they can defeat Zod without your Henry Cavill Superman, because I don't think he's going to be returning again. Who knows? Maybe we'll see what they can work out and what we see happen with that in the future too. So I don't know. They probably have some good things in store. I'm sure, because huge license and everything, Justice League and everybody involved. So I think that's most of what I want to say about the review. Everything else in the movie for me is like pretty good. I think I'll give this movie an 8 out of 10. Okay, solid 8 out of 10. Not a bad score or anything like that. But I just would have liked to seen Michael Keaton Batman maybe a little stronger. Maybe had some kind of more advanced bat suit. Like the modern suit was sort of like, it was okay, but maybe something closer to sort of Batflex suits and whatnot, or, Batman v Superman, where he's got something like that. Maybe like some kind of Iron Man-esque, yellow arc reactor bat power suit that he could wear against Zod and the others. You figured after all this time, the Michael Keaton Batman would have figured some stuff out. But I guess if it's peacetime and whatnot, then, you are sort of taking a character from one kind of world where he's facing Jack Nicholson Joker and Penguin and stuff, Catwoman and stuff, and you're sort of bringing him into Man of Steel. We got a bunch of Superman on the loose, Kryptonian Zod army, and they're kicking ass, taking names, and they're not apologizing. So that's my review, guys. It's a good movie. It's not disappointing. I wouldn't say 100%. Just that the trailers kind of give a lot away. But it's still got some really fun, Easter eggs for you there and everything for your hardcore fans. And, it's good enough with Flash himself to be pretty good as a standalone movie. I don't know if they're going to do a sequel, if they can get a sequel with Flash. They can get a sequel out of him. I don't think so. I really think using George Clooney at the end as a Batman as a joke is like, it's funny for a joke, but I do think it F's you over if you're going to do anything further with this group, unless you're going to say that the time stream is like not consistent, and all of a sudden you see another movie and there's like a slash or something, and somehow there's a time rift, and your Batman changes from George Clooney into maybe Batfleck again, as people might like it, or hopefully not Robert Pattinson, Michael Keaton Batman, Val Kilmer, no, probably not, Adam West, he's so that's it. Thumb the video up below, share a favorite, and subscribe at the bottom if you're new. That's it for my review, spoiler review for The Flash. Fun movie, guys. You gotta see it. You gotta see it, because what it does have is really really special, and very so cool to see this nostalgia factor in some of these versions. Nicolas Cage Superman, it's like, even that one caught me off. It's like what? It's like they did not just put that in a movie. Yes, they did. So for this video, guys, see you again soon for another. Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.